Welcome back everybody to another episode of Dark Souls 2 after taking care of the Iron Keep and the old Iron King last time, also admittedly dying to him a lot last time. Today we're starting with a new path, but only after doing some maintenance yet again. As you can see, I now have a new sword equipped. That is actually the Black Seal Katana that I was talking about quite a bit last episode. And I got that by farming a lot in the Iron Keep, killing those Alon Knight dudes over and over again. And finally, after maybe like 5 runs or something like that, I got it. And it's awesome, I hope. I mean, I don't know that yet. I read that it's supposedly a really good dex weapon. And also, it being a dex weapon, we're gonna need some more dex for our character. So let me talk to her real quick. Accidentally... or no, I shouldn't even say accidentally, coincidentally. I do have all the souls I need for this. We need 25 dex, and I'm totally comfortable with putting all those points into that, because of course that basically now makes us a dex character and also gives us additional damage. So it's not just me being able to wield the sword, it's also me investing a lot of good stuff into my character. So now we can properly wield it. And I guess we should go over the moveset real quick, just so that you guys know how this is now going to behave. There's like relatively slow, strong attacks, which I guess can be bad, but maybe can also inflict a lot of damage. And these strikes seem to be quite long, which I very much appreciate. There's also a thrusting attack after backstabbing, or not even stabbing, but stepping much rather. And yeah, that is all cool. Does she have new stuff? Because usually once you kill more bosses, she gets more stuff. And yeah, as a matter of fact, she now sells Titanite shards infinitely and has a limited amount of large ones. And then later on she will get an infinite amount of these and get new gems, not even gems, but like shards, upgrade stones, whatever you want to call them. So that's really good. Of course, there's still something we would like to do. Black Seal Katana isn't an upgrade just yet, because what we're gonna do first is level it up a little bit. And I guess we might as well do that with Macduff, since we now picked up the Dull Ember in that last episode in the Iron Keep. That's where we jumped over the lava over to that like metal staircase, and right on that very staircase we got the Dull Ember. We can now give that to Macduff, basically now allowing him to infuse weapons with all kinds of neat shenanigans. So let's basically do that real quick. And there's another fun little thing that you can do in his workshop as well, because by lighting the torch and then setting this on fire, he's very soon going to move over to this anvil and sit on it, and that of course is then going to allow us to access the chest that he's currently sitting on. So while we're at it, let's open all these things up. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. Should mostly be upgrading material, but that's totally fine by me. And I don't know, I was going to talk a little bit about the whole farming thing that I just had to go through, because I actually found that quite enjoyable. Farming is something I haven't really done in a good while in a Souls game. I don't know, it's just that the first time through, that's where you're gonna be farming for the most part, or only if you like read up on a new cool weapon. And I mean, that was the case for me just now, but I'm trying to say I haven't done it in quite a while, and it was a novel experience. I really enjoyed it, like always having the enemy that you just killed drop an item, and then you're like, oh my god, is that gonna be the katana this time around? And then, ah, shit, it's gauntlets. And ooh, what about this time? Is it going to be the exact katana that I so want, desperately need? And no, it's the helmet. And that was a fun little thing. I don't know. It had me like on the edge of my seat almost. But alright, he appreciates flames very much. He introduces himself to us, and now he also insults us and asks for the Dull Ember. There's no choice. We really do not have a choice. There's no other blacksmith in the game that we can give this to, so let's just get it done with, get it over with, give him the Dull Ember. And now check out what he sells. As you can see, he also sells the Uchi Katana, which also would have been a pretty good choice, or at least alternative to the Black Seal Katana. And he also sells another 100% block shield, which a lot of people are going to be interested in. I don't know if it's actually better than the Drang Lake shield. So, I mean, might be a good idea to get that, actually. But we'll have to see. Let's first of all, reinforce our Black Steel Katana a little bit. Should be able to do that quite a bit. I was crunching some souls before starting the recording, so that should now work out rather fine for us. I don't know how far we're gonna get it, but I mean, I'm freaking fine with where we got it already. Is that now us having a +7 katana, or is that just showing me that I can now upgrade it to +7? I don't know. I'm just gonna assume that it's a +7 katana, and we could now also infuse it with something. So for example, lightning is something I could apply if I had a bolt stone, and I haven't quite decided yet whether I want to do that or not. It might be worth it, because that then also makes it scale with faith. But since I don't have a bolt stone yet, we can take care of that later on. Let's first of all now, having acquired this new weapon, test it out in the field, and as I was saying earlier, start with that new path. So we're gonna go back to Majula and go to, a part of Majula, I would say, that we have not been to yet. So that's awfully exciting. Let's see what that is all about. Let's start with the 3rd out of 4 paths in the early game of Dark Souls 2. First one, of course, led us to the Lost Sinner. Second one, we finished last episode with the Old Iron King. And now it's going to be a new, exciting adventure here in this series. So, right, is that everything I wanted to do? We could also go to Malin, I guess, while we're at it, while we're here in Majula, and see what he's talking about, whether he has moved on to his last phase. And oh, he totally did. And I mean, already looking at the way he's sitting there, you might be able to tell like what he's now gonna
sorry, have we met?
Be like.
Sorry, it's just I've been awfully busy lately. Care to look over my wares? Please, be my guest. I upgraded my stock recently, although it may be a bit out of your reach.
Yeah. So he has become an asshole because he earned a lot of souls apparently and is now rich. And I find it kind of funny because, I mean, in the end, I'm the only source of income that he has. Like, there's nothing else giving him stuff. It's just me buying. And he sells some new cool armor sets, the Alva armor, for example. I've never used it, but I would imagine that it's kind of good. And I actually do think that a lot of people like it. I don't know. I haven't really thought about armor too much yet. I'm still okay with the Drang Lake set that I currently have.
I don't need
so,
anymore.
We'll see.
Home.
Yeah, he's not just bragging and being an asshole, and that is also basically where his storyline ends, or his character curve ends. There's another little side thing that you can do with him, because if you talk to him when you have 0 souls, he's gonna give something to you, like an armor set, I believe. And that might be something we can do a little bit later on. Right now, I don't really want to bother with that too much, though. It's not like I'm going to end up using that armor set anyway. It's just a little fun thing that you can explore here in the game. Alright, and this is totally the area that I was talking about, an area we have not been to yet. There's going to be a new NPC sitting right here. Also, another new NPC coming up relatively soon. And for now, all that he's saying is that there's an awful statue, quote-unquote statue, in this upcoming room, and that he doesn't know how he got there, or that statue got there, at the very least, and it creeps him out a little bit. Please, is there something you can do to take care of that? And absolutely there is. Let's first of all open up these doors, though, and kill the monsters contained within. Seemingly, Black Steel Katana is pretty strong. That was not as strong as I was expecting. Right, is he gonna open up that door himself? Can I hit him? Oh, he's totally going to destroy that door. Slash open it himself. Okay, that went rather okay. There's one thing that is a like straight up downside to the newly acquired katana, and that is the fact that it has like half the durability, and we were already in some areas running really low with the Haida sword. So it's gonna be interesting to see how we can manage that, because in theory we'd have to run around with a lot of repair powder in order to like really just maintain this weapon. Then again, we could always switch back to the Haida sword when necessary. So of course there was a statue here, not necessarily too much of a statue though, just a petrified person that I now freed using another fragrant branch of yore, and she's very thankful, which is very much appreciated. I always like when people appreciate my help, and yeah, she doesn't only thank us like verbally. There's also another thing that she can do for us, but of course only after doing her some more favors. And oh yeah, I guess there's also the prison stone, which I forgot about, but then again, that's nothing important really. So yeah, she's complaining about her rags that she's wearing. She would like to look a little bit nicer, and we can absolutely provide her with some more stuff. So let's give her some inventory right here. Or give items, I guess. Giving her inventory wouldn't really make too much sense. But alright, what do we want to give her even? I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I don't have any duplicates here, which sucks a great deal. Usually that's what I give her, the duplicates. But I guess we might as well just give her the shitty stuff. Also kind of would be nice to dress her up nicely, but for now let's just give her some weird like hollow soldier armor, I guess, that you can easily obtain in the Forest of the Fallen Giants. And yeah, just give her the hollow soldier shit. I don't know. As you are probably realizing, I don't care too much about her. She helps you out a great deal if you are a pyromancer, which I am certainly not, so I don't really have all the benefits that you could theoretically gain from this. But, I mean, there's enough NPCs for me not too upset about the fact that I'm missing out on one. She also talks a little bit about how she has a teacher and how he's very adept at pyromancy, and she will now, since we gave her the equipment, she will move back to Majula. Right, okay. That's her dialogue exhausted. So, upcoming we have a ambush that I'm slightly terrified of. We're gonna have to see how that now is going to treat us, because once we pull this lever, things are gonna close down on us, and we're gonna be fighting a lot of these guys. Hopefully able to avoid dying though. Oh god, alright, doing a good job of that so far, but I should not underestimate things too early, because there's another basilisk coming as well. Is that the first one we're seeing in the game? Of course, they were also in Dark Souls 1 and make a return in Dark Souls 2. Very terrifying enemy. Just creepy looking enemy, for the most part. And the rapier, also a really good dex weapon, so that's rather nice. And I'm actually a big fan of the fact that I managed to survive that so well, because usually that's the part where a lot of people are gonna die. So that is totally a-okay in my books. There's another bonfire here. Let's light it, but not rest at it, because that's also gonna make all of these guys respawn. And there's another thing right here that you can open up, and there should be an Estus flask shard. So we now have both a sublime dust, actually, sublime bone dust, and a Estus flask shard. So maybe towards the end of the episode we can then upgrade those healing items a little bit more. For now, we're going to be entering the new area. Text should pop up any second now, telling us that it's the Shaded Woods, and And this is actually a really interesting area in my opinion. There's going to be a lot more of these poisonous guys that we were already fighting in that room a little bit earlier. But with the katana, it doesn't seem to be too big of an issue now, does it? I mean, it could absolutely be doing more damage, but maybe once we then apply the lightning to it and do similar stuff like that, it's going to be a little bit more efficient. At least more than it already is. Now, lightning spear is apparently once again the best thing ever. It's just I'm like every fucking episode I forget that I have the lightning spears, and then like mid-episode I switch to them and use them, and I'm just mind blown by how amazing they always are, or just end up being. It's freaking ridiculous how much damage they do. My recording screen is about to turn itself off, which pisses me off a little bit. It's always nice to be able to keep track of the time. Currently should be at like 15 minutes or something like that. So, while that is now gonna make it really hard to time the ending of this episode correctly, it's good to know that we have a little bit more time. So, we'll see how far we can take this now. Right, that douchebag, we're just gonna cut up real quick. Yeah, one-handed, 3 strikes. I don't know if I'm too happy about that. That was only 2 though. Then again, that was another kind of enemy. And see, this area confuses me greatly. This small little section here. There was a message on the ground not too long ago. Saying like this place again, something like that. Remember this place? I don't know exactly what it said, but that of course made me think, am I supposed to recognize this? Is this something that was already in Dark Souls 1? I couldn't quite make that connection for myself though, so I don't know if you guys have any theories on that. Maybe that was just a message trying to fool people. But I mean, I can see. I like at first I was thinking, "Wow, Filing Shrine! Are you kidding me? That's totally the place." Because there's also like this very circular area on the ground at Filing Shrine, but I don't really think so. I don't know. I can't quite tell you what that was supposed to tell me. That whole message on the ground. But maybe you guys have some input on that. And I mean, also other than that very message there, I have never heard about there being like the Filing Shrine or whatever spot from Dark Souls 1 it's supposed to be in the game. Then again, maybe he's not referencing Dark Souls 1 in the first place, so I couldn't tell you. That's basically what I'm getting at here. So this is a branching pathway, like a fork in the road, and we are gonna meet Creighton again. We met him previously in the Huntsman's Copse, in that undead lockaway thing where the bonfire was at, and he's still after Patches and is still talking about talking about how he is a rat. So Patches is, or Pate is, and I don't know how he supposedly lives down in Brightstone Cove, which is going to be an area coming up relatively soon. Okay. Let's see that we exhaust this dialogue. That's good. This is the path we're going to be going down, or like the main one we want to be going down, I should say. This, let me quickly take a look at everything. Yeah, this is one leading to a late game area, and this to a mid game area. So while it might be worth going down here for now and maybe showing those areas off and picking up some extra items, I don't think that there's anything too awfully important in those areas. So for the time being, we're gonna enter the foggy section of the shaded woods, and it's actually a really dangerous place to be in. Having said that though, it kind of depends on what you want to be doing in this area, because if you just want to get to the next area, a very easy one, you could just run through, stick to the left side, and never have to encounter like any problems and enemies whatsoever. But if you want to be picking up all the items, which is probably something I'm not going to do, there's really just ridiculously evil enemies in that section. For now, we're gonna talk to this head, though. That's Vengarl's head. He got decapitated and is now resting on this pile of rubble. And we're gonna talk to him for quite a while. He talks a little bit about his backstory, where he comes from, what his job or duty was, and why he's now here, and what happened to the rest of his body. Gonna try to talk over most of the stuff that he says in order to just sum it up a little bit, because he can go on for quite a while, and it's something I don't necessarily need to underline too much right now. I don't think he plays too big of a role in the grand scheme of things. It's just a rather interesting side story, because he's actually a sellsword, so some kind of like mercenary, I guess, having fought for the king, I believe. King of, yeah, like Drying Lake, so Vendrick. I don't know why I was trying to like describe that weirdly, but anyway, he of course had some horrible thing happen to him in battle and is now resting here. He really enjoys it that we now talk to him, and he really enjoys having somebody spend some time with him, because I mean, fucking hell, he's probably really lonely here, just being a head, not able to move or anything. He also warns us of his body, because that is supposedly also still running around, attacking things. So very similar to what he was previously doing when he was a whole Vengarl, now split up into two. This is now like more the sensitive side of him, and the other one is like the war machine, still slaying things somewhere, somehow. Alright, so we should very soon here, yeah, and here we go, learn a new gesture from him. He also sells items. Claymore is a really good one, like a great sword, and then of course also the great sword itself, which we picked up in the No Man's Wharf already a few episodes ago. He also sells gold pine resin, and that is another very interesting thing right here, because now I'm thinking, well, that would be an amazing buff to a black steel katana, so why don't we just buy a bunch of those and then try that out on maybe like the next boss or something like that, because that of course would also be an immense buff to our current damage. And I'm just gonna let this this dialogue run for a while now. There's a little bit more that he says. In the meantime, I'm going to turn on my recording screen again so that I can actually then pay attention to the time.
I am afraid. But perhaps it's for the best. We knew not what we fought for. I was born in Feroza, a land in the distant east. When I was born, we were already mired in prolonged conflict with our neighbours. Eventually, our kingdom fell, and our people scattered.
Much better. Much better.
Sellsword ever since. All I ever knew was war, and I can imagine no other way to live. What a fool I was.
Yeah, he kind of regrets his past decisions, and we're now going to finish his dialogue, and that should also make him give us a neat little item that a lot of people are probably going to be interested in. Vengarl's helm, a really good helmet. Probably a helmet that I'm not going to be using just because I don't really like the looks of it. But it very much is that same helmet that he's also wearing. Of course, kind of doesn't make any fucking sense at all. It's just a head. He doesn't have any arms. And then he gives us like another version of like the one helmet that he's also wearing. Like the only thing that he has, he sells to us and still has it. It's pretty strange, and we're now going to very quickly try to leave this area. I was already mentioning it a little bit earlier, but there's a lot of like fucked up enemies. They're like ghosts, creatures that you cannot lock onto, that are really hard to see, that can very easily like ambush you and backstab you and do horrible things to you. So just wanted to leave that area as soon as possible. It's really messed up. And there's I believe some good items in there. There might be like a Chloranthy ring, and I believe also a spell, maybe even an Estus shard, but not like I really care too much. It's just that basically the downsides to that area absolutely outweigh the upsides, so that is why I'm not going to invest any time into that right now. It's just very much an area I don't necessarily enjoy too much myself. Okay, so having picked up all these gold pine resins, we're probably gonna put them in our hot bar, very much like this, and we might even just apply one to our sword right now and then start fighting some enemies. There's gonna be new ones right here, and that should be very exciting. I always like how goofy the thing makes it look. Wait a second, I think I can... Oh no, he's aggroing. So now we should have one hell of a time, because those guys fucking hit like... I don't even know what they hit like. They hit like something that hits very hard. And we have aggroed way too many of them. I really thought I could slip by. You can, but apparently you just need to be a little bit more careful with that. So let's maybe use a lightning spear for a bit. Alright, there the guys come. I kind of didn't really do that doesn't do anything. Okay, very resistant against lightning, as I had to find out. And very resistance, no, that's the noun. Shouldn't be using that. Very resistant against stuff in general. Not a big fan of it. I should have handled this much better. I kind of hate how I started this out, and I'm probably going to die in the long run here, but we're just gonna do some weird, very troublesome combat here. Okay, but I'm slowly but surely making some progress, one might say. I'm managing to dodge their attacks rather successfully, and that is absolutely something I did not expect to see. So that is cool. Pretty cool if you ask me. That is another guy dead. How did I kill him? That blows my mind. Alright. And now, backstab maybe? Or just not. Instead, almost die. Jesus, I've never seen that combo before. Do the Estus Flask. What the fuck? Okay. They're not too bad. You can just very easily block their attacks. They, I believe, take out a bunch of your stamina. And also block attacks themselves, it seems. Why am I having such a hard time, you guys? I was not expecting this. I mean, I know that they're hard and really fucked up. But alright. Better. That wasn't good, but better. Okay, so there's a bunch to this area, honestly. And I don't even know if we're going to be able to explore all of it before time runs out and we have to call it quits for the day. But not only do you have a very strong and aggressive new type of enemy here, also you're going to be dealing with these curse barrels, which curse you. Luckily, as I've maybe already mentioned before, cursing works a little bit differently in Dark Souls 2, in the sense that it doesn't like immediately kill you, it just takes off a little bit off your overall health. And I believe also maybe decreases your health as well. But okay, so this is a very interesting section right here. There's a Scorpion Man. Do not attack Scorpion Man, because he's cool. He's actually friendly. Oh my god. Did not remember you. And also didn't remember that I'm not going to be able to get you maybe. Shit. That was so close too. Yeah, I should have remembered that one. But yeah, a lot of people are going to be attacking that Scorpion like right away. Do not do that though. While you can't access him immediately, at least we cannot. You theoretically could. Let's save that for later. And first of all, just have him stay here, not aggro him. Just keep it in the back of our heads and then come back later. So now, what we're going to be doing down here is fighting different kind of these guys. Like lion something, I believe they're called. Don't remember the exact name, but all that's important right now is that they're evil, that we want to dispose of them as quickly as possible, and also that the katana does decent damage. It's nothing to write home about, but it's decent damage, I would say. There's another like petrification thingy, stone person right there, statue, I guess. But I don't really want to bother with that just yet. Let's maybe try to do the rest of the area first, like the main parts of the area at least. There's a bunch of side areas to this, the whole like later section of the shaded woods, because I mean in the end we're still here. It's just that it does not look anything like the shaded woods when we first got here. But yeah, let's go upstairs. You might have seen that giant ass basilisk in the distance. There's also more cursed barrels around, and I still very much dislike those, but the good thing about that basilisk over there is, while he's very intimidating, there is a relatively easy way of taking care of him. So hopefully I'm going to be able to do just that very soon here. This should not be a mimic, alright. While I did remember that correctly, it's always good to make sure and not die, especially not now that we're relatively far into this whole business. And he should not aggro too much. He shouldn't like come and attack us, which is really nice. There's another chest over there, which I guess we might as well pick up. And then up a pathway very much in this direction, there's going to be the next boss. And I mean, what would a Dark Souls 2 episode be without a boss fight? So I would very much like to do that before we end the video today. So let's see about this. Lightning spears don't do much, I had to find out, unfortunately. So let's try to, oh my god, for freaking cursed barrels, almost cursing me just then. Let's try to dispose of this guy without him killing us, please, maybe. And I think the best strategy is going for those backstabs. They have a rather large window for that, so most of the time you can also backstab them, even if they're like only, I don't know, if you're like facing their side, I guess would be the better way of describing that. And there should be one last guy? Is that the last guy? Yeah, basically, I mean, he's not really the last guy, but he's, for now, the last one we're going to have to be dealing with. There's another one, very much petrified, that we can also use a fragrant branch of yore on. But for now, be very careful about this whole stuff over here, because very much not safe at all. It actually should collapse like that. A trap, so yeah, be careful about that. For now though, let's take care of the basilisk. And the way that I like to do this is by going up here and then just chucking things at him. So lightning spears should prove to be yet again very useful. Of course you could also alternatively use your bow and arrow, or maybe a crossbow even, or if you're really fancy, throwing knives. Maybe if you're like especially fancy, poison throwing knives, which is what I might actually use right here. So there's me being fancy for once. Then again, I guess also the way I dealt with these earlier lion dudes when we first entered this area was also rather fancy and very, very troublesome. Right, that should poison him. 4 is usually what does it. So he's gonna die very soon. And then I'm probably going to, yeah, explore that area for a little while and then head to the boss. There's more to this area, but we are probably going to come back and do some additional things at the beginning of that next episode then. Just because I don't want to make it too long, but also don't want to like leave you guys without doing another boss. So there's that. I did remember that there was actually another lion dude around, but it doesn't look like it. Alright, well, I'm not complaining, again. It's just that I was kind of remembering that differently. Now, there's a corpse here that does not have an item, which I always found to be very strange. Oh, there totally is another lion dude. And we totally did backstab him. That is amazing. Look at me. I'm a winner. Here we go. Right, I don't care about you cursed barrels too much right now. What I do care about is getting to the boss and then kicking the ass of said boss. So let's first of all ignore the whole petrified dude over there. Leading you to a pretty cool item. I forget what it is, but it's probably really cool. And for the time being, we're just gonna go up here and do stuff that way. If you talk to the Scorpion Man before, you can also summon him very much for this boss fight. And you might even get something out of it if he helps you and survives and does stuff like that. Maybe also if he dies, but I don't quite remember. But I don't know. I don't think it's too important. I'm probably going to skip on that for now and instead use some repair powder on my weapon just to make sure that it doesn't break in the middle of that fight. And then we're going to attempt this. Once again, I don't really know how well I'm going to be able to do against her. And yes, very much a her. Very much a she, I guess, would also be the better way of like phrasing that, I guess. But do want to also equip the gold pine resin again and apply that. Hopefully this is now more effective than it was against the stupid lion dudes. Alright. So, as you can see, there's a lot of sand now. There's a relatively small lady in the middle of the room. Shouldn't be too big of an issue now, should it? Well, yeah, fuck that, because she's not as small as you might have been thinking. Because she's big scorpion lady, and we're not going to try to kill her very much using... Oh my god, that is the worst. I didn't expect her to do that so soon. Also, I would love to be able to use... Oh my god. My lightning spears, but of course we kind of depleted that very early on for us. So I believe the way we want to do this is bait her into using her oh my god. That's probably going to poison me if I were to take a guess. I've never gotten hit by that. Toxic is even worse. So chances are we're going to die on this fight. It's very, very likely at this point. Maybe, just maybe, I can still survive it. I would be amazed. I would absolutely be amazed if I now still managed to kill her. But yeah, totally have never gotten hit by that whole poison throwy attack. That terrifies the shit out of me as well. Let's drink another Estus. So the basic strategy, and I'm not doing a good job of showing that off now, am I? Is staying close to her, because that way she cannot, or she probably isn't going to use her sorceries, which hit like crazy, and you absolutely want to avoid that. And also the other trick slash strategy to this fight is whenever she's underground, standing on this like wall structure on the ground, so that she cannot pop up underneath you. I cannot believe that it happened again. I hands down have never been hit by that before, and it makes me so mad that I now have to die to the Scorpioness. That sucks a great deal. Well, what can I say? We're probably going to fast forward now and yeah, catch you guys once I'm back in the fight. And here we go. Alright, I just ran by all these guys. It's luckily something you can very easily do if you keep dying to her. And now let's just do a little bit of a better job. I cannot... Alright, so let's just put it all on the table right now. What I absolutely need to do is avoid those poisonous, or I guess toxifying attacks of her. because that is basically what ended my run. And then she does the shit which I also don't like her to do, god damn it. She's not really doing the things I would like her to do. Not at all. And maybe we're gonna very soon here come up with a way of dodging her like sting attack. So whenever she does it, god damn it. Alright, that actually sucks a great deal. Yet again, she does that. That is the best thing that she could have done at this point, because we can now very casually heal and prepare for her to show up, because you are absolutely 100% safe on this little thing over here. So make use of that. I didn't know about it until, like, I don't know, I guess not too long ago, and it absolutely saves my life every single time. She does a lot of damage when she hits you from underground. Okay. I would like to bait her into using her for that attack. Good. Much better. So what we also could do, I guess, is use some lightning spears on her. I don't exactly think that I have my timing down for that, though. Like, I wouldn't know when to exactly attack. Maybe right now would be a good idea. I hate when she's so close with the sorceries equipped, because then they have a very much increased chance of hitting you. So for now, certainly want to find a time to heal. This might be it. Okay, that was risky, but it worked out very, very well. Let's use another lightning spears. A lightning spears, yes. That is like Britney Spears' new sister. God damn it, alright. Or maybe Britney Spears' new album. That would actually be a lot cooler than just having a younger sister now performing pop songs for us. Okay, but this seems to be working out pretty well. I didn't expect it to, but I very much appreciate it. And much, much better than that first attempt that I had. Problem was just that I totally did not expect to get hit by those sting attacks so often. And we should be able to finish her off relatively easily right now. Good. Better, yet again. Much, much better. You can also have her knock down this branch in the fight. You cannot access it after the fight. But it's a relatively minor item, I believe. So, yeah, I don't know. With all of that out of the way, and having like 40-something minutes recorded, I'm probably going to end it right here. Thank you so much for watching. Next time, we're going to go back down and do the additional little side things down in that section, and then also advance through this door over here and enter the second area of the third path here in Dark Souls 2. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Catch you guys next time. Goodbye.